Hi everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I am putting together some paper cartridges. This is a little kit I got from Dustin over at Guns of the West, and you've seen me use it before. I did a video where I did some paper cartridges. The only problem with it was, other than, I mean it's relaxing, it's fun, but the only problem I had, not with the kit, but was what do I do once I've got all these made up and I want to go out to the range and do some shooting? Well, back in the day, they had paper cartridge boxes, and most of them were made, I mean, they were civilian use too, but a lot of them were military made, and it was probably, you know, women and children that were making it for whatever war effort. They would be sitting somewhere making these things up. And then they would package them in boxes, well, like this one. This is a little cartridge box I made here, and it's got kind of an original, I guess, some of the original artwork on it. And it's got 6 holes in the top of it, and all you got to do is just drop your rounds down in there. Now, I'm going to be making rounds for, this is for the Colt Walker right here. It's a 44 caliber, but it's a bigger cartridge, and they drop right down inside there. And now this is not a historically accurate box that I made here either. It is, I mean, it's made out of modern materials, modern dimensions on the lumber and everything. Modern paper, and instead of, you know, whatever they used to print these, they probably had one of the old hand presses that were doing this. I actually went to Staples, and you can have custom stamps made. And I had this stamp made, and this is a, well, it's the label. I sent them the artwork, and they just went ahead and did it right there while you wait. And you can get various sizes of stamps. I think this is the biggest one they make, and I think it's like a 3x5 or something like that, but I had them scale it, and I had them scale it wrong. The label wasn't exactly this big in the originals, but I figured, you know what, I'm not out to make an original one. The original ones would have been wrapped on the ends too, and sometimes they would have had a hemp string in there that you would pull, and it would tear that label. And I thought, well, I don't want a one-time use. I want to be able to use it over and over again. So I went ahead and made the boxes. I mean, I went ahead and did all this work in the leather studio here, and I had some little scrap pieces of wood, so I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and make some cartridge holders. Now, this is going to be the biggest round I'm going to be putting in there, the 44 Colt Walker rounds. This is your standard 44 for, say, the 1858 Remington, and it fits in there and actually has quite a bit of room over the top of it there. Now, you could put 36s in there, but they're going to be swallowed up by it. And the problem is I do not have a Forstner bit, which is the type of bit I use to drill these holes in here, small enough. They go 1/4 inch and then 1/2 inch. I don't think there's much in between there. A 7/16 would be ideal for the little 36 caliber, but for both of the 44s, this is a 1x2. It is 3/4 by 1.5 inches. It's cut 3 5/8 inches long. Drilled the holes in there, spaced them out as equally as I could get them. Anyways, I'm going to show you the whole process after I get done making these cartridges up to go in there. Okay, so I got me 6 rounds for the Walker loaded up there, and we're going to go ahead and get one of these little blocks, well, all 3 of these little blocks marked out. Now, the one I made right here is poplar. It's already got the holes drilled in it. I got 2 more made out of poplar right there, and I did one out of oak just because I had a little scrap piece there. But let's get one of these marked out. Now, the holes are 1/2 inch diameter. This is 3 and, what did I say, 5/8. Actually, what I need to do is establish the center line first. Now, this is pretty critical on the way these things, the spacing in them, because there's not much of a wall between them. So we'll get our center line on there. You do have a little bit of wiggle room, but not very much at all. Should be somewhere in that neighborhood. Let's go over here to the drill press and get these hogged out of there. All right, now I already adjusted my depth stop on here, which it needs to be almost all the way through. So the point of that Forstner bit just misses my ruler there. I've probably got maybe a 64th between there. So everything should be set up. We'll get some holes punched in this thing. Okay, so as far as labels go, I guess I kind of cheated on this, but anyways, what I did was I cut out a strip of paper. This is actually the same paper I use for my pattern making material. I got a great big roll of it, probably 300 feet or something like that. But anyways, I start this off so that my paper is about, well, we can go all the way to the edge or we can go about halfway. Then hold it. Make sure you're lined up on the edge there. I already cut this strip of paper the same width as the box there. And then we're just going to roll it up in there, making sure that we kind of crease that edge a little bit. Roll it right on over. And I need to put me a little bit of glue. And I'm just using the same wood glue I use for other projects. I think paper's wood, just very thin wood. And then roll it over one more time. Like I said, make sure you're trying to get your crease in there. Then I just took my utility knife you want to make sure, give it a little tap, make sure you didn't get any glue on that wood, because if you leave it in there, it's going to get stuck. So my seam is at the bottom, my openings are at the top there. Now this was the tricky part. I haven't found a really foolproof way to do this, but that's my stamp from Staples. It's got the image that's on there, and want to make sure I want my seam to be at the bottom. So that's the bottom. And like I said, I wish I would have kind of done this a little bit differently, but the hard part is getting them to line up because it doesn't quite fit. Again, if I was going to mass produce these, I would probably make some kind of something to put this in. That way that this piece would fit in there and center it all up. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And there it is. That came out pretty good. Better than the first one I did. The image is not real good on the stamp, but it looks perfect. I mean, it kind of gives it an aged, distressed look. And then I can go ahead and drop in my 6 Colt Walker cartridges there. And then slide it right back in there. And they're ready to take out to the range. Pretty easy little project, kind of fun, kind of aggravating making those little paper cartridges. I assure you, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, but I haven't done them in a while, so I need a little more practice. And I might as well, because I got a couple more of these I'm going to make up and get some more rounds in there. Anyways, that's how I made my paper cartridge boxes. Like I said, they're not historically accurate, but they're functional, and I don't have to worry about, I'm not tearing off that label and destroying it. I'm being able to reuse it. Anyways, if you could, hit this button up here to check out some of my other videos. Hit this button over here to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review.